It's pretty good build. I'm just saying, it's pretty good. Hello friends, my name is RagePanda1 with another Vampire Survivors video here, and you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to give you a build that you could use when you're trying to do some of the challenges in the game, because a lot of the times when you get to the end game, it just turns into a cluster, and it's really hard to see what's going on. I have solved that problem for myself, and you know what? Maybe it'll help you out too. Now there's a whole host of characters that we could be selecting here, whatever we want, based on whatever we want. But here's the thing. When you're going to do challenges, you need to be moving around the map, which means with a lot of these characters, you're just going to be dropping your experience on the ground. And you don't want to be doing that. You need to get your experience while you're going so that you can stay strong enough to make it around the map and do all of your objectives. Believe it or not, I think that Poe is going to be the way to go. That's right, Poe Racho. He comes with a permanent 25% pickup range. He also comes with Garlic, which is one of two weapons that we're going to be using in this build as well. You'll notice here we have our max weapons set to 2. And you might be thinking, why would you do that? It's very important that we pick the Silent Old Sanctuary for our Arcana slot. This is going to give us extra damage and extra cooldown reduction when we have less than maximum weapons. Now, a couple of things are going to help you with this build, and it's a couple of things that you need to unlock. For one, you got to unlock Poe. Another thing that helps is having Arcanas and Limit Break. Basically essential. So you're going to have to play the game a little bit before you get to this point. Next, we're going to pick up the King's Bible. So now we got our King's Bible, and we're just going to focus on getting all of the things unlocked that we need unlocked the first time that we see them. It really, really helps a lot. Of course, if we have no other options, we want to prioritize getting our weapons leveled up. Now you can see that I have the option to choose Garlic here, which would increase my damage in the area of that attack. But what I really want to do is fill out all of my slots with the things that I know that I'm going to need going forward. So I'm going to start out with the Pumarola. That way I'll be able to actually evolve my items when the time comes. Spinach is another thing we're going to take here. Free damage. Can't hate that. It's not essential in every build, but it's pretty darn good. Tirona's Box. This is another item that we're going to get, and we're going to save a banish for it. For when it gets to level 8, we are then going to banish it away and hopefully not have to pick up the curse at the end of it. Now we can get our Attract Orb, and now we can really just start cruising forward. We don't really even have to worry about picking up items anymore. Although as our skills get larger and larger in area, we will have to take into account the fact that we're killing things farther away, so we're going to have to pick things up farther away. There's nothing here that I really care to have in my build, so I'm going to re-roll that one and start working on the old Garlic. At the beginning of these runs, even on these runs where you're planning on running around and doing some objective, it's a good idea to spend a couple of minutes farming. Another reason that I like this build a lot is because it actually does not take that many levels to be at maximum. It just is very cheap to do. So if you're playing in hurry mode, where you often don't have the time to get the levels that you're looking to get, this helps you out a lot with that. Hey, we got our first upgrade. We're feeling good about it. And now you can see we just got this clear window. This beautiful clear window, and we get to pick up all the XP. And it kills all the projectiles for us. We really don't have that much to worry about. Although, if the stronger melee guys come in, they just walk right in and you gotta dodge and it gets all scary. And that's why we're using the King Bible, because the King Bible, if any enemies could actually survive getting to it, you would see it knocks them back pretty considerably. And when you get it fully maxed out, it just so happens that the circle of that and our Garlic is going to be about the same diameter, and that means that we're going to be knocking all of the melee guys back just after they take the damage from our Garlic, and it's really, really a great build. It also keeps your screen very clear. This is a good example of how the King's Bible is just going to knock enemies away from you, and you don't really have to worry about it, even if you're not straight up auto-killing them. Now this works a lot better when you got your upgrade going on, because it just spins so fast that you really don't even have to worry about it at all. So let's see if we can get that upgrade now. The answer is no. We could not do that. Surely from a 3-popper we're gonna get this. Hey, we did it! Now we got all of our weapons evolved. Both of them. That's all it took. And we need to think about what we want in our last slot here, because it's not actually all that clear. There are a lot of options. I think that Bracer could be good. Wings could be good if you have a lot of moving around that you need to do. Armor could be good if you get the proper arcana that makes your damage increase based on the armor that you have. That can be pretty useful. Look at this. These little blowing up witches, they think they're going to get in here. They're never going to get in here. Never. And this is another great part about this build. If you get to the point where you have essentially beat everything that you're trying to do, you've completed your objective, you can just sit here and let the game grind the enemies for you. I know, it's not the most thrilling of gameplay, but it's an option that you have. I have literally just looked at my phone and put the controller down. It's an option. Now let's see what else we can get for an arcana. Another great thing about this build is when you're doing it the way that I was doing it, where you're picking up all of your items first, before you have anything else to worry about. You're not worrying about leveling up your items, you're worried about getting the new ones that you need. It leaves you with a whole bunch of rerolls, and you get to use those to make sure that you get the right arcana that you actually want to make the build go forward. These aren't overly essential, but they're pretty nice to have the right stuff. Now, the Blood Astronomia is one of the ones that I like to pick up. It scales off of your Attract Orb that you already have, and it makes your garlic even stronger, so we'll go ahead and grab that this time. Now we can see, even if we're just standing still, we get a whole lot of area effect from that. The only problem with this one is that it can make it so that they drop XP outside of your area, and you might have to move around and wiggle and shake to get your Attract Orb to pick it up. Now, I think that there's a temptation here to go for Candelabra. A lot of people just want extra area. I don't think that's the way to go because it's going to knock your Attract Orb out of balance with what you're looking to do. So I think I'm going to take the Empty Tome here. It ends up, you're just doing so much damage and getting so many of these stacks on the ground with the red damage that it works out very, very well. Especially when you're moving around, you can just see that stuff slamming onto the ground. And now, even though we got these ranged guys surrounding us, we don't have to do a darn thing. But let's get back moving, because we're not trying to stand still. You can see just how fast that's dropping. Because we're getting extra attack speed from our first arcana, and we're also getting it from our book, that's just a tunnel of death that we're leaving behind us. So we can just keep schmoving and we don't have to worry about a thing. The only danger with this build that I've seen so far is that you will get a little bit complacent, and then if you're really not looking at the screen at crucial moments when bosses show up, you can take a little damage and get yourself killed. But even when that has happened to me in the past, I have actually just out-healed the boss damage. Alright, now we're picking up number 8 of our Tirana's box. This is still going to give us might, projectile speed, duration, and area, but it's the last one that we want to pick up, so now we're going to banish it. And when we banish it that way, that means we get to start doing our limit breaks. So here we have all of our limit break options. Now, you could choose to go and individually pick one or the other of these items to level up. If I were doing that, I would like to get a bunch of might, a bunch of speed, a bunch of duration on Unholy Vespers. I would skip area. I don't want to increase the area at all for either skill. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the duration on this one because it's a really strong upgrade. And then I'm going to do random always because I don't need to be dealing with that. Now we're only level 44 and we're already into limit breaks. That's all it takes. There are some builds that maybe are more powerful or whatever, but they're also considerably more expensive in terms of levels. So let's click that random always and then we'll just walk through these guys and not give a darn. We don't give a hoot. Now the only problem with the second arcana that I took is it does clutter up the screen a little bit with all of the red mist, but again, you don't have to take that, and it's way more clear than any other build that I've been playing in this game. I don't know about y'all. But as we walk and everything's dying, I'm just picking up everything. Unless they die to the red trail behind me, that's the way it goes. Here we got a boss. Let's see how she handles it. Come on, why ain't you coming in? Come on in, Medusa. Oh, she couldn't. She literally could not. Now at this point we've banished out our cursed item. That means we don't even want to pick up the chests anymore. We have nothing else to level up that way. The only thing that's going to happen is we're going to get ourselves cursed, and we don't want that. We don't want that evil on us, Ricky Bobby, so just don't pick up the chests. You don't need them. What are you going to get, a little bit of gold from them after you pick that up? Not worth it. Just skip them. Oh no, we're getting surrounded by the 20-minute wave. What will I do? I just don't know what to do, guys. And I can actually see my character. Isn't that the best? Oh, the poor boss can't make it in here. He just keeps getting knocked away. You poor little bat. Oh, he's trying. A for effort. Now, our build is done. You've seen it. We don't really need that much more. This is a fun time where you get to use the Game Killer. You can halt your XP gain and just turn them into exploding projectiles if that's what you want to do. It's not the only option here. You could also get the one where you reduce the cooldown from your garlic while you're moving, or you could get the one where you make your King Bible explode, although I don't think that one's necessarily the best for this. You've certainly got yourself some options. I'm gonna try this one out this time. Oh, they poppin'. Oh, they poppin' and lockin'. It's like popcorn in here. I probably won't be able to continue to show the game that much longer because I don't want anybody to have a seizure watching my video. Now, it doesn't get too crazy if you're just standing still, but if you start moving towards the experience, it gets rowdy. I shall demonstrate that now. Oh, here she goes. Oh, they booming. Notice how we had to pay attention to the boss sneaking up on us? Okay, so maybe it can get a little cluttered if you take the arcanas that I took, but I think you know that that was just for show. Just to have a little fireworks at the end, because we earned it by not really doing much of anything. So there you go. Theoretically, you could do this with just one character if you wanted, and you could just use the King Bible. You can see that it did most of our DPS, and it would do even more if you didn't have another weapon. The reason that I like to go for Poe is because his weapon works with the King Bible very well. If anybody gets through the King Bible, you want to have something that's going to help you take care of it. And also the extra magnet really helps you to stay on top of getting all of your experience from the beginning and not having to worry about it. That's why I build it this way. I think it works very well. Whenever I'm exploring and trying to find something, I go with this build, and then I don't take the arcanas that fill up the screen with a bunch of mess. I think that goes without saying. So hey, if you want to see more build guides like this one, then go ahead and like and subscribe. You gotta let me know that you liked it so that I know to make more of them. For now, I want to thank you for watching. I have been RagePanda1, and I will see you in the next one.